Alright folks, we're here at Charlotte. ARCA race, first race in the new ARCA car. So having a little fun with it here. This was a good race. I thought I'd throw it out there and throw it on a broadcast for y'all. Qualified 7th here. Pretty full field. About 22 cars, I guess. Down the green flag here. Wasn't really sure how this car was going to handle right away or over the long run, so just kind of feeling it out here these first few laps. I ran about 10 laps in practice. That's about all I had. Actually a pretty fun car to drive. You can run it on the high side, you can run it on the low side here. As you can see, the competition there, just driving it a little deep, getting it up into the wall a little bit. I was really just trying to nurse it around the bottom line here and save some tires in the beginning. Guys went a little bit hard up front. Starts to get bunched up here a little bit. Field did have pretty much kind of an accordion effect earlier on. Guys would get out and they'd fall back. Guys started to get a little bit squirrely here once we got a few laps in. Really pressing. Just going to go through the different camera angles we have here. Oh, there was a little contact right behind me. Lucky there, get away with that. The ARCA series here on iRacing does not run cautions. So, yet another reason to kind of be a little selective on where you're making moves. 23 car was just driving it into the corners. Pretty much knew early on he was not going to last. Again, just trying to keep the tires under me for the long run here. A lot of these guys running a little bit harder into the corners. 16 crashing again there in the back. At this point I was starting to get a pretty good feel for the car and where it ran good, where it didn't. It pretty much ran well everywhere. Didn't have to run high much. I could run the middle of the corner, I could run it low. There was the 14 crashing. Sustaining damage and then putting it up in the wall. We're 11 laps into this race at this point, and I can already see some of those guys up front starting to slide around a little bit with how hard they use their tires. So at this point I'm just really trying to maintain pace. Another contact between a couple cars in front of us up there. Not surprising, that was the 23 car getting into somebody. At this point, I had a pretty good idea that the car was going to be pretty decent over the long run. Just had to stay out of trouble. Oops. Wrong camera there. That one's upside down. Now 15 laps into the race, I was starting to notice that guys in front of me could not keep the car down low at this point. I was still able to roll off the throttle, keep it down low. Gotta say, much more confident running with the guys that I run with on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, that they aren't going to wipe out in front of you. This group, a little bit different, but that's what you get in the officials. This point, we're really starting to run in on the leaders there, and the leaders take each other out. I am not sure. There's some netcode there that I got through that at all. I definitely hit that car, or I should say he hit me. Got a little bit lucky. One of the quirks of the game, sometimes it bites you, sometimes it does. You get away with it. So at this point, it's me in the 7. Got about a second lead over. They're 3/4 of a second lead over the third place car. And we're just coming up to take the cross flags here this next time by. Get some damaged cars nursing it around down on the inside there. Apparently already used their fast repair. As we're past the halfway point here now. Definitely feeling myself reeling this guy in here a little bit. That was really good through 1 and 2. 3 and 4, we kind of ran pretty much even, but 1 and 2, I could definitely keep it right down there on the bottom line and gain on him. Come off full throttle where I think he was feathering it coming off the throttle, off the turn a little bit. Third place was sort of maintaining distance to us back there. 3/4 of a second to a second back. Definitely getting some good runs on him here. He got into the wall a little bit. Used that to jump underneath him. I really thought at this point with 16 laps to go that I was going to be able to drive away from him, but he did a good job of using the draft. His Toyota car on the inside here, number 1, or 17, sorry. He's 2 laps down, but on very fresh tires, so we weren't going to be hold him off, and I just couldn't find a good spot to let him by. When I did, the 7 was able to get back under me. Feeling pretty good on my car at this point, so still felt like I was getting through the corners a little better than him. Again, he's not able to stay low. He's able to get inside of him. Get a good run. This time I was able to, no lap cars to worry about. He's doing a good job. He definitely gets some draft in here. It's not a huge effect, but it can definitely help keep you close if you're maybe just a hair slower than the car in front of you, which I really felt he was at this point. 12 laps to go, 11 laps to go. I was able to finally start gapping him a little bit. Big shout out to our sponsors on the car here. Laughing Llama Wraps for all your custom iRacing paints. Embroidered Image, York, Pennsylvania. If you're looking for custom embroidery work, there's no one better. Utilities Employees Credit Union, the Andy Durr Foundation, and Covey Towing. Come down to the flag here, we'll have 8 to go. Starting to pull away a little bit. Got the lap car here on fresh tires. You obviously can't afford to pit here, 40 lap race. But if you get far enough behind or you get some damage, you have to. You're going to be faster when you come back out. It's 7 to go, 6 to go at the line. At this point now we're pulling away a little bit. Got about a 3/4 of a second lead. Getting a few lap cars between us, which is always a bonus. At this point, my biggest worry is these guys getting a little out of control. They're obviously faster on the fresh tires. Hoping they don't make any bonehead moves. I really wanted to let them by, but again, kind of hard to do when he's able to kind of hold on to their draft back there. Did at this point say I was going to go high and let him go. And they, of course, make it 3 wide, which really didn't make me happy, but... At this point, I decided to just keep that other lap car, if I could, between us, give me a little bit of a buffer. Get the twin sticks there for 2 to go. At this point, I'm just hoping those guys don't do what they just did, which is come off the wall. They've worn their tires out already, even on old, at this point, 38-year-old, yeah, 38 lap old tires. I was faster than them, but I didn't want to push it. Took the white flag there. Just want to bring it home at this point. Stretch my lead out to about 1.2 seconds. And with that, we bring it down and take the checkers. First race in the ARCA car. Got to win. Can't complain about that at all. Down here for a little bit of a celebration.